And so we are recording, and we are in Wakita, Oklahoma.
Yep, we're just outside of it.
We only rode 5-something hours today.
Riding time about 5 hours and 20 minutes.
5 hours, 20 minutes. How many miles did we put down?
246.
What was the general idea of why we made so many miles in such a short period of time?
Fantastic roads, fantastic riding conditions, and finally weather that wasn't suffocating us.
Oh, it was nice. I mean, it was a little bit hot, but not for a summer day.
Not like it has been.
As you can see, we've got the hammock set up behind us, twin hammocks. Got the KLX and the T7. We're debating on whether or not to put the tarps up. Richard says there's a 50% chance of rain tonight. He didn't go into a lot of detail because usually that comes with 1 to 2 inches possible or something like that. But if it says 1/4 inch possible, that means It's probably 50% chance it's going to sprinkle on us. So I chose not to put the tarp up, and Richard took the bait and he decided not to.
I'm not putting it up either.
So we're going to see. I mean, we like to live dangerously, and I convinced him also that the many times that I've rolled the dice and said, it's not going to rain tonight in the summer in the South when it pretty much rains all the time. I think it's probably 10-15 times I woke up in the middle of the night. It's pretty hard drops of rain coming through, hitting my bug screen and splattered on my face. It'll wake you up. Nothing really got wet. I got a little bit of maybe just some dampness on my face, maybe on my bag, but I think it'll be fine. And I will wake you up too if you don't. Well, you'll probably wake up easier than me. We're set up, if you can't tell, we're set up in this beautiful old homestead here. We're actually not on the Tat. The Tat is that way about three squares. Yeah. So we got up. We started riding on this, and I looked around. I said, the Tat's that way, but we're paralleling it this way, and the road was freaking perfect. And I was like, we can only go down there, literally and figuratively. We can only go down in quality of dirt road, and we can only go down because I'm looking down there. We're on this ridge coming up here, and it was freaking amazing. And I convinced Richard to let's do the parallel Tat, which is we're breaking all the rules. I'm sure we're going to get punished by it somehow.
Probably.
GPS Kevin's going to come after us or something.
Let's hope so.
So upcoming topic is Sam Carrero, the originator of the Transamerica Trail, or GPS Kevin. Because some people don't even know the difference. You didn't know the difference when you started
when I went down
investigating.
The road. Not at all.
Anyway, so Richard's pretty passionate about it. I'm relatively indifferent about it, but we have an interesting conversation about plagiarism and theft and all the things. It's like, that's a pretty interesting topic. That's coming up. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the ride today and what your opinions are and what the misconceptions are, maybe?
Yeah, to continue on what I said earlier, Oklahoma sometimes gets a bad rap when people start talking about it. Mud, sand, long, straight, flat. Oh, here comes Farmer Brown to run us off.
Is he slowing down?
No, he's in a tractor.
Oh, he's coming down here in the tractor.
Let's see what happens.
Surely he's not gonna even slow down. What's he doing out here this late at night, though? He may be coming down here to tow some vehicles away.
Could be. Well, he's not turning.
There he goes. Isn't that one? Yeah, that's the one like we passed earlier. I don't know what those actually do. I think they have something to do with high crops or something like that.
Spray rig.
It's what?
It looks like a spray rig to me.
That's what I thought earlier, because there was something. So maybe the arms fold out, and instead of having a crop duster, you just go ride through your fields. But not just that, you can ride over your fields. You can ride in between the things. I wonder how much crop they lose, because this row is not even. You go in and you have to. Anyway, I took a walk through the cornrows over here, and they're not really very well organized cornrows. They're just, it's kind of almost like random. I mean, there's spaces in between them, but they're not rows, so I don't know. Maybe they're rows like this. I don't know. I've seen cornrows, and those are not very organized. Off topic, back to Oklahoma and what you were saying.
Yeah, everybody sometimes seems to give Oklahoma a bad rap. You know, I think skip Oklahoma, and I can agree. If some of these roads are muddy, they'd be very difficult, especially if they were sloppy. And I wouldn't ride them on a dare. There's no way.
Yeah.
But when the roads are like it is like now, and the weather's like it is right now, and it's been some of the most fantastic scenery we've seen. Some of the best roads that we've ridden.
Yeah, we rode through one section that looked like a mix between Montana and Wyoming. Just freaking beautiful. I was like, this is not Oklahoma. This is Montana or Wyoming, or yeah, it looked like a lot like the grasslands of Wyoming. So anyway, beautiful. Just rolling hills, big, deep rolling hills. And yeah, the mud would be a problem for me, and we talked about that because mud apparently is a big scourge here. Scares people off of.
Well, that and the sand, and we haven't gotten to that part yet.
So there's sand. There's
yeah, I think once we hit the Panhandle, the landscape changes a little bit, and you'll see some sandy spots. But I've never had any problems on those before. Not enough to turn around, and they're certainly not long enough. That's not like the sand out in Utah and Nevada and out in the desert. But here, no. I would go through Oklahoma, especially if the weather's nice.
Yeah.
And what's the alternative to get across Oklahoma? You're gonna hard slab it? Well, that's not
brutal.
Fun.
That's brutal. Yeah. Well, so I'm starting to realize, slowly coming around, just like I realized last summer that. That's kind of the way I've always done it. It's like, I want to get out to the Rockies. I want to ride the Rockies. I want to ride the Rockies every day, all day, every day long. And I don't want to see the rest of America getting there. I just want to hammer down, get down behind the screen and just go as fast as I can to get to the Rockies, get to my playground. But last year I realized that there's a lot more to the Midwest, especially, than I gave it credit. Just like this, there's stuff that I would have never seen from a highway had we not gone, and I've never seen Wyoming and Montana in Oklahoma had I not gone on the Transamerica Trail today. So I think that's the lesson I'm starting to learn, is that, okay, it might not be all happy and sunshine and roses. It's a bit of a struggle, and that's part of it. But the bigger thing to me is you got to stay on this trail and not miss anything, because there's something really special here. If you take the highways, like I've always done, it's like, yeah, I want to take the Transamerica Trail, and I probably rode most of the sections of the TAT through at least Colorado, probably several portions of Utah. But if I'd done what I always do, is just get on the highway and go all the way there and do my thing, I would have missed all that. And all this is waiting for people, the residents of these states. So if you're live in the South, you can go hit the TAT either in your state or the closest state. You don't have to do the whole Transamerica Trail. You could do a section and just see how it is. And
that's how I started.
Because Mississippi was a rugged.
There are portions of Mississippi can be very rugged. There again, if they're wet.
I never would have thought that. I never would have thought there was anything in Mississippi that would have gotten my attention. But there were some rocky, rugged sections there. Nothing like Arkansas, but you had to pay attention. You had to be a pretty skilled rider. At least know the basics. We ran into a guy that had downed his bike. Oh, tell us about your spill today.
Yeah. Another thing to take into account in Oklahoma, the water crossings, especially the low water crossings, a lot of them are concrete based. There is a algae that gets on them that is slick. It is slick as owl snot, and I
would put it closer to ice, like wet ice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not just that, I don't understand why they polished that concrete. And maybe it's just the vehicles coming through there polishing it. But I got out there, and it would be slick without the algae on it. And that's what I tried to do, is stay in the tracks and stay out of the algae. And it was less slick, but it was still slick. Like it was, not quite ice, but not something that I would want to ride across Wrigley and
If you try to
Anyway.
control on it, you're gonna have no control. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just a lot like sand and.
Yeah, you know, I get a little raspberry, carry me through to Colorado, I guess.
So I would call that really, if you want to talk about it, wasn't that your first crash? Because the other one was a stick. You got knocked off your bike by a stick, and then the one after that was what? What was the one after that? I don't
I
remember.
was a rut. I tried to cross over, and we were in Mississippi. Right, remember that Jeep was the truck that was coming down. We were waiting on so long, and the rut started getting really bad. Started to climb up a little bit.
Was it a crash or was it just a small get off?
No, I got stuck in the rut and went straight to the ground.
So was it a small?
It was a small off. I laid there in misery because it was shortly after the one that I'd done
Oh
earlier,
yeah,
which
that's
I was
right.
still reeling from.
Yeah, you're still recovering from the bad one, which was it was 0 miles an hour. You were just moving past a big log in the road that grabbed your saddlebag and pushed you into the ditch, and torqued your.
I peg legged it. Bam.
Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully you seem to be recovering more and more every day from that. Hopefully, I mean this was probably bruised your ego as much as it bruised your.
Wear gear.
Yeah, wear gear. Geez, yeah, that's the other thing. That's
Wear
another
gear.
big message.
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, little spills like this could end your trip. You know, you could be so miserable from the injuries you got, or have to go to the hospital, or surgery or whatever. Simple little things like some padding and some good tough material to keep from opening up your knees and your elbows and your hands, and most especially, I think, is why I just got some new boots. I stopped doing dual sports because I thought I was too fragile. But doing stuff like this is, I know how to do all this stuff, but with the little tricky spots, wearing like regular boots that I've been wearing for the last couple of 3-4 years. Well, actually, I had pretty good boots till last year. So I got some new ones, and I feel very confident that I'm not going to at least break my ankle. Hopefully I don't have any lower leg injuries as a result of get-offs. But yeah, a cheap pair of boots can save your trip, save you $50,000 in medical bills, and well, cheap pair of boots, a good pair of boots, a good pair of heavy-duty, non-ankle moving, anyway, gear. What else we got?
I don't know. Oklahoma.
Wakita, it's beautiful, man. Look at all this stuff. I mean, you may think it's not beautiful if you live around stuff like this, but if you're from another place in the country and you've never spent the night near a cornfield in a beautiful old homestead, you might be missing out. So I guess that's all we got. The sun's almost down, and our beautiful faces are going to be where the glow is going, and everybody's going to go, oh geez, I thought these guys were almost bearable. That's all we got. We're still on the road, and I'm editing videos as fast as I can. I just figured I'd give y'all some kind of a little bit of taste of the flavor of what's going on, so maybe you could watch it sometime this week instead of waiting for the editing. Later.